Hey guys, I'm back with another book review, and the book that this is about is The Living the Examined Life by James Hollis. And this book was the one that was meant for July, but I took my time reading because the author says it's best to read a chapter a day just to really sit and reflect and just sit with the information that you read. He also says at the end of the book to reread any chapter a day, not in order, but just to flip through and choose one, just to find something that you didn't pick up on during the first read. Because this book is really introspective and has you thinking a lot about your internal programming and just your environment that you grew up in, and your parents and expectations, and expectations that you've picked up on through the media. And when you reread a chapter, it kind of just makes you think about oh, am I living through this old programming, or is this my authentic version of myself? Is this aligning with it? So yeah, and I think it can be kind of intimidating, because I think somewhere on the cover of the book it says living the second life, and it's not really about preparing yourself for death or dying. It's more of a metaphorical death of this was your life before, and then reading this book and working through those old wounds that you might have picked up on growing up, or just that old programming, you're living that second life. So yeah, and I think every chapter, at least from my perspective from reading it, examines different aspects of life that makes you think about your own experiences and discovering something that maybe you were doing subconsciously and it hinders your growth. Something that I realized from reading this book was the chapter about distractions, and when you distract yourself from life, from with external things. So I watch a lot of movies and videos, and I do love watching movies and videos, and I do learn a lot from them, but I definitely distract myself from doing things that I love and working on myself as a person and building that life that I'm so excited to wake up to. Instead, I procrastinate and go on autopilot mode, and I go back to that old programming and why I do that. And I've really looked at that from reading this book and reflected on that. And it's really made me work a lot through not doing that. So yeah, I think this book is really great, and it is really introspective and a deep thinking book, but it's really short. It's only 200 pages, which it's kind of an easier read because it's a really short book. But I definitely had to restart it a couple times because that first chapter was kind of confusing to me. But yeah, if you like introspective books or on your own self-development journey, I would definitely recommend this book. So to end this review with some quotes, there's definitely a lot of different quotes, but these are the ones that stood out to me the first time that I was reading it. So the first one is, "Sooner or later, we are each called to face what we fear, respond to our summons to show up, and overcome the vast lethargic powers within us. This is what is asked of us, to show up as the person we really are, as best as we can manage, under circumstances over which we may have no control. This showing up as best we can is growing up." That is all that life really asks of us, to show up as best we can. The next one is, "Life asks of us, grow up, be accountable, be present. Finding personal authority requires two things: sorting through the traffic within and living what we find with courage and consistency. When we are doing what is right for us, we will feel a sense of purpose, meaning, and satisfaction, and that communicates itself to others also." And the very last one is, "Our life begins twice, the day we are born and the day we accept the radical existential fact of our life. For all its delimiting factors is ours to choose." So if you end up reading this book, let me know what you think, and if you have any book recommendations, let me know, and I'll see you next time.